Hey, y'all, grab me any day above ground, live it. Hope you're having a fantastic Monday. You saw the thumbnail and the title, and it's not the month of April. Yeah, this is real. This is definitely real. All right. I read it, and it's as bad as you think it is. This person, Sean McLean, wrote an opinion piece yesterday saying that the federal government needs to step in because what's happening to Caitlin Clark on the court should be considered a hate crime and a violation of her civil rights. You have white folks really saying that there's a racism towards her in the league and that the federal government needs to jump in. The first paragraph of this Sean McLean person compared her to Michael Jordan. Okay. Nasty work. I'm not going to read all of it. I'm just going to read the portions that you need to know. So it says here, Caitlin Clark has done for the Women's National Basketball Association what Michael Jordan once did for the NBA, made it more valuable, watchable, and marketable. Instead of protecting his transformative star, the league's leadership ignores the relentless targeting of Miss Clark, treating its greatest asset as if she were a PR headache. That approach could turn to a legal liability for the WNBA. Number one, she caused this, since, folk don't want to be honest. MAGA, this is your fault. We're just going to start like that. We warned y'all during the title game between LSU and Iowa. It's cool you can make this girl, you want to look at her and say, you know what, she's great. That's cool. One thing you got to understand about basketball fans, we not going to go for extra shit. She decides she's going to do the Tony Yayo. Okay. Caitlin Clark went there and took it back after they won the chip. Y'all caused this problem. Y'all caused the reason why this girl's getting all this grief. It ain't us. We can sit there all day and critique her game, which we have done multiple times. Y'all not want to take it into a racial realm. You're not going to win this battle. I'm going to warn y'all now. Y'all brought the BS into the league. Damn near made it unwatchable last year. And I and others told y'all gonna fall out when certain situations happen. Your girl wouldn't be on national TV if a black man at a Sky game live tweeted it. Caitlin Clark would never have been on ESPN. That's how much ESPN does not believe in this girl. Since we have to tell you, since you only watch, this is what y'all admitted, you only watch when she plays. ESPN did not care about that girl until that man went viral. Then they said, okay, we just got upended by somebody on Twitter. We got to start putting these games on national TV. Y'all came outside and said she needs to be on the Olympic team, even though she got 3 shots to get on there and did not impress. You said that the committee was holding back greatness. When again, we went through it multiple games and showed where her flaws were. She was not ready. Same reason why Angel Reese was not on that team. Same reason why Camila Cardozo was not on that team. They were not ready. And it would have been a liability to take a spot from an established veteran to put one of these people on here so to appeal some fan base and risk losing the chip. We all saw, for those who watched the Olympics, we saw how tight that USA-France game was. Fine, she gets her award. Fine. She becomes Rookie of the Year. We weren't even mad at that. We already knew it was a foregone conclusion the day they drafted her, they were going to make her Rookie of the Year. We already knew this. She gets to the playoffs, they get swept. What happened? Muff started crying. She ain't getting no home game. You pussies cried so much they had to change the rules. Now they're doing a 1-1-1 format. That's why I hope to God the Sparks make the playoffs. Because I want to see them have to fly to LA to play either a game 1 or a game 2. Or if they tie it up, a game 3. Which we already know if that happens, the league is going to try to stretch out an extra day. She gets swept. That team gets swept. What happens? Y'all ran outside and said, oh, we're not going to watch no more. Those quote-unquote ratings are going to tank. And steadily every series, they went up, including one of the most watched finals in history, and she wasn't involved. She wasn't even in town. Y'all ran around and said, she the reason why they get chartered flights now, even though that was in the works since 2021. But okay. We get to this season now. She gets a groin injury. All right, it happens. It's sports. Even though her production was down from last year. But that's okay. It's a new season. We gave her the benefit of the doubt. Real fans. Groin injuries are nothing to play with. What am I doing? I forgot about the most important part. She does that Time magazine interview. Y'all turned on her. I forgot about that. I almost did. She starts talking about how she went to Taylor Swift concert. They hooked up. She was basically sitting there saying that she's going to get better. And she doesn't, in a very veiled way, say she doesn't tolerate what's going on in the league. Y'all said she was woke. You turned on her. But now the new season starts. Y'all right back on the bandwagon. So you've already shown us that you stand for nothing. But okay, fine. It's a new season. Hurt feelings. It was what y'all want to call growing pains. That's fine. I give it to y'all. She gets hurt. And instead of saying, you know what, let's go dormant until she starts playing again, y'all start harassing everybody else again. She comes back, plays a few games, hurts herself again. And she's been out since. You know, I don't think she's hurt, but she around kicking soccer balls now. Groin injuries are your lower abdomen to your thigh, that area. You shouldn't be kicking no balls. Pause. You figured they would have went dormant. No, no. They decide they're going to throw dildos on the court. Pause. They're going to harass players. Now you've taken it to now you have fever players disrespecting other players in the league. Doing stuff to their own teammates. Trying to walk, they're bent over or they're kneeling, and you have players trying, their own teammates trying to sit on them or go over the top of their heads. This is the culture you've brought in. Good, NorCal, if you don't care, you could leave. If you don't care. This conversation is not for you. Nothing wrong with that. I'm sure you could swipe up and there's somebody else saying something that might pique your interest. We also forgot about that Indiana lawmaker that wanted to put out a law and get an investigation going into what was happening with Caitlin Clark last year. And we're back to this again. The star player is not being protected. Okay. They've been protecting Paige. Oh, they've been protecting her. I ain't with all the flopping, but they've been protecting her. This is the same league, and you could tell these people have never watched these games until this broad showed up. This was the same team that was the same league that was just as physical as it is now. Hell, they had a whole brawl in Detroit. They were throwing hands. Must have been something in the bear up there in Detroit. But in any case, physicality has always been with the league, even from day one with the Comets and the Liberty. It's been physical. The problem is your girl never faced adversity when she was in college. She played in the easy-ass Big Ten. She didn't go to the SEC. She didn't go to the ACC. She didn't even go to the Pac-12 and go see them Stanford teams, them UCLA teams, them USC teams. She didn't go to the Big 12 with them real teams. She didn't go there, which is fine. She wanted to stay home. We're not even mad at that. But now she's seeing the physicality with these grown-ass women in there, and y'all saying that you need to have the government step in. And you wonder why we say it's always, I'm white and I say so. The government. But these were the same people telling us she need to go for 2 weeks over there in Europe and play with grown-ass women that are in their late 20s to early 40s who've been trucking around continents and the WNBA. They wanted her to try to run with those Spain teams where they had fast guards. They wanted her to go see the Chinese team that had the two Yao Mings on there. Australia, who's known to be physical. Even Japan, who the U.S. beat in the last Olympics in their home country, they wanted revenge. And don't even get a start with France, the most balanced team outside of the U.S. I can imagine the global racism y'all would have pulled if she was on that team and she was getting hurt by France or Japan or Australia or even Belgium with Van der Sloot on there. But this is now we're gonna go back to this. Professional sports are multi-billion-dollar industry subject to the same civil rights, antitrust, and labor laws as any other. When basic rights, safety, and public confidence are threatened, Washington intervenes. The government has forced changes at the National Collegiate Athletic Association, USA Gymnastics, and other leagues over player safety protocols. Okay. Yes, the government did tell the NFL, you need to crack down on these players keep getting arrested. NCAA, they've said something. USA Gymnastics, they've said something because they help fund those. You're telling me that because a girl gets fouled hard, the government, Congress need to step in. That's what y'all telling us. Congress. They can't even, the same congressional body that can't even make sure that the laws that we have on the books are being used correctly so they can advance the interests of America in a positive way. You want them to waste time and taxpayer resources to do something about a sporting event that you don't have to watch nor funds the government. Y'all are sad. They can't put her in the Australian League. Do you understand what the Australian League does? When you get fouled in the Australian League, they release the monitor lizard. You have to hit 2 free throws before the monitor lizard messes your life up. The fourth quarter, that's when it really gets fun. They put the koalas on top of the backboard, and the koalas be swatting shots. She not about that life. Them rainbow threes, them koalas are not about it. They don't even do jump balls down there. They want to see who could take a kangaroo punch. Come on now. Don't do that to that girl. They say if you don't learn the haka, you can't even play. She look like she got no coordination. She ain't got no left hand. She can't go to Australia. Don't do that to her. Europe might be her speed. Please don't do that to her. But anyway. UConn Hall of Fame coach Gino Auriemma says Miss Clark's treatment isn't merely rookie hazing. She's also being targeted. I remember when Michael Jordan came into the NBA, guys looking to go out and beat him up. You're right. They didn't do that when he first came in. But Detroit did something about that now, didn't they? Okay. You gonna tell me the NBA's never seen a rookie come in and he try to punk him? That's never happened. All right. I get it. Miss Clark faces a textbook hostile work environment as the Supreme Court described in Harris v. Forklift Systems, 1993, with severe pervasive conduct altering her conditions. You've got to be kidding me. This sounds like this girl's never played street ball. If she thinks the WNBA is bad, can we please? You know what? We're not even gonna take her to the Rucker. The Rucker is like godsend. You can't go there. Let's take her to. Let's take her out there to LA, where them real girls at. She think that's bad? I want to see her play on some concrete. It don't even got to be the black girls. Some of them white girls out there can ball. Some of them Latina girls can ball out there. I want to see something. Them nice hardwood gyms. I want to see her play on a double rim. I want to see her playing on a court where there's no net. Show me something. I'll take it down to Philly. Statistical disparities like those she faces often prompt federal probes and lawsuits. The precedent is clear. In Texas Department of Community Affairs v. Burdine, 1981, courts outlined disparate treatment under Title VII of the 1964 Civil Rights Act, letting employees allege less favorable treatment than peers due to race, warranting investigation without direct animus. That shifts the burden to the employer to prove non-discriminatory motive. Now, let the black players pull this. They would actually win. But see, the black players understand that's the code. You going into a hostile environment, you don't even know what's going to happen. Don't know. They've been getting joked on about their sexuality, their race, for damn near 30 years. It's about to be 30 years in 2 years when the league started. They're used to it. It sounds like Caitlin Clark has thin skin. This is what it sounds like. Why can't she deal with this physicality? I need this answer. Somebody tell me. MAGA, why are you showing the world how weak you are? Do you think that you would get away with asking someone like Mike Trout or Bryce Harper to have the game of baseball be easier for them? Yeah, make sure everybody not on the field. So if they do hit a grounder, they can't get the back end of a double play. Let me guess. Y'all are the type to say either Tom Brady or Peyton Manning should have at least a 5-second head start with them and their wide receivers and tight ends before the two lines attack each other, just so they can make sure they hit their throws. You want your favorite white hockey player like Ovechkin or Sidney Crosby or McDavid. You want them to always have the power play advantage. And anything less would be uncivilized and worthy of a federal probe. This is the weakest thing I've probably seen in years coming from the Caucasians. Congress and the administration should demand answers from WNBA leaders, investigate officiating and internal league communications, hold hearings, and insist on real reforms. The Labor Department should review league protocols for workplace safety. If evidence shows discrimination or retaliation, the Justice Department Civil Rights Division must act. If leaders remain inert, Congress should reconsider WNBA's special privileges, including its antitrust and broadcast considerations. Checking referees' work with NBA-style last 2-minute reports would be a meaningful first step towards building trust. So you want their licenses pulled. So should we pull the NFL's licensing because people bet games, and we have found evidence, and you guys found evidence that sometimes these players kind of throw these games just so they can hit the spread? Should we do that? Tim Donaghy already exposed the NBA. Why don't we pull their licensing? Miss. Miss. Hell, let's pull all sports licensing. Let's do that. Because, hell, college football, goddamn Alabama ain't been winning like that. Okay, they suck. And the SEC's out to get them. Screw it. Let's pull a SEC licensing. Let's penalize everybody because a certain fan base is too butthurt to recognize that there are sports that they do not dominate in. Hell, they got mad at Bubba Wallace for not bringing up race when he won the Indianapolis 400, the Brickyard 400. Y'all make it about race. We don't. And here y'all are. MAGA is bitch made. And that's going to be forever. This fool, Sean McLean, right here, he served in Trump White House in the offices of Ted Cruz and then Representative Marsha Blackburn. That should tell you everything you need to know. He a right-wing grifter. Where policy meets power. We shape legislation. This is Origin Advocacy, a lobbying firm. And you wonder why I kept saying during the election cycle, we need to vote everybody out so we can get rid of these lobbyists and these special interest groups. You wonder why I said it. Let's see what they do. Shape legislation, influence federal policy, and engage decision makers across Capitol Hill and the executive branch. Oversights and investigations. Prepare for and respond to congressional investigations, hearings, and information requests, mitigating risks and protecting your reputation. Policy analysis. Translate fast-moving legislative and regulatory developments into actionable insights that drive better decisions. You sound like pussies. There you go. There's your Ted Cruz right there. Let's see who's on the team. There's Sean. Soft. They haven't updated this since May 31st. This one from April 7th. Nobody else. They only show 2 people. Where is the team? This is the saddest thing I've ever seen. I tell a lie. This is the saddest thing I've seen all year. MAGA, how are you this soft? This fool wrote this yesterday, and today Trump sold out to Israel. But I bet he ain't saying nothing about that, now did he? Let me see if he's on X. Let me look. I'm sure he is. It's one of the requirements of being MAGA. There you go. There you go. 80, God, Jesus. Please tell me this is, wait a minute. Now, wait a minute. Sir. You wrote, hold up. I'm tripping. I got bad eyesight. I had to go up a little bit more. Sir, you wrote this piece for Wall Street Journal. It's got about over 1,000 comments, and it's a regular Clavin in there. How the hell did you get on X and look like a bot? And you're active because you put this up there 12 hours ago. That's horrendous. Let's look at these comments. Don't forget the class action potential for the consequences of what they have done by design as rob fans of money they have spent to watch players who are instead out with injury. Well, then you need to go to every sports league, but you pussies would never do that. I've been saying since the Kennedy Carter incident that if I was Clark's father, she would have retired effective immediately and filed a hostile workplace environment lawsuit. Well, her father told her to shut up, so I don't know if that's going to work. Someone wrote, you stupid F. Jesus effing Christ, what a load of BS misinformation, total lack of subject knowledge, purposeful and knowing misuse of the language, revisionist thought, bigotry, racism, misogyny, and objectification. I'm sure they were respectful in that comment thread. Actually, I've been saying she should retire and drag that racist league to its knees. No Caitlyn, no money. Y'all do realize if she retires, she looks like a quitter. I hope y'all... I know what they're doing, and it's genius, but it's also a BS PUSSY move. They're trying to keep her out to the playoffs. They're not fooling nobody. Playoffs starting in about 3 months. They're trying to keep her out till then. Protection from what? This is a BS opinion piece with no merit. You're a loser who understands nothing about sports. You bitch. There you go. Can you please explain this? You frame Asia's quote about race and mixing and making her blood boil to be about Clark's treatment on the court, but that's not what it was about. It was about white athletes getting more media attention and endorsements, which we covered last year. But, you know, the white man decided to write that and make it seem like they're just hating on her because she's white. Remember, this was the same league who got upset at the Aces for getting their players all endorsement deals because they had no hand in it. Even though it wasn't only black players that got it. WNBA never let this ass in an arena. He's just stirring up the bigots and endangering players. He would never go. Now we have an answer to the question: what would happen if we combined the worst parts of Marsha Blackburn and Ted Cruz, stuffed them in a wet paper bag, and left them in a dingy basement with InfoWars and Outkick clips playing on loop for 15 years? You should be embarrassed. They are killing this man. This post is exposing a lot of foul-mouthed, nasty people. I loved your op-ed. Okay. Sure. Because the white players didn't bully her, right? Y'all only mess with the black players. Okay. Protect our queens. All right. Oh my God. You know what? If you want her to retire, let her go ahead. The greatest what if story of a generation she will become. Yes, you will get the infamous 30 for 30 that you're going to have to pay ESPN Plus to watch because they never put it on the regular channel. But maybe for her, they'll make an exception. Y'all do realize how bad she's going to look, right? But okay. Okay. This fool said he never saw anything like this in any other sports. Are you serious? I know you don't watch sports. Hold on, you might have to hear this. This dude might sound like he's spitting some high shit. Let me look.
Yeah, my nigga, and you could put my balls
Pause.
with some hummus and tahini and eat that to the face. You feel me? My
Pause.
business. Nobody asked you anything, my nigga.
Pause. I was shout out to New York, but pause. Glad she isn't as soft and pathetic. Girl is soft. She ain't on the court. Fam. Y'all don't believe me when I just said that they're probably trying to keep her out till the end of the year, right? I figured you didn't. I figured you didn't. Okay. Well, guess what came out today? And they talked about this last week too, in an article I read on ESPN about the first half of the season. The fact that they're two not really playing, they only played one time this whole year, that hurt ratings. They even admitted in that article, including what they're going to admit here, they wanted this for this season. This was supposed to be the moneymaker. And both of them have been out. Which is why I've been telling y'all, they don't really care about this sport. Because the games have been really good. And we told y'all when Paige did that speech that they were never going to embrace her. We talking about the MAGA fan base. They were never going to do that. Plus that she got the black stepmom. Her coach came out today and said there's no timetable for her to return. They're managing her. They don't know. And her team has still been winning without her. Y'all don't want to talk to me? Y'all so goddamn worried about what this girl's doing. I'm going to say this again. I don't care that y'all want to hit your bandwagons to her. I don't. Y'all need to understand that within the next 3 years, you're going to have guard play the likes this league has never seen before. And this chick is going to become irrelevant. I promise you. The chick from Rutgers, Hidalgo out there in Notre Dame, Juju when she fully gets back from the ACL. There's another chick at Stanford. They have some Raven Johnson. Flaw J if she come out this year. They have guard play that is going to eclipse what this girl does. Not to mention who Gino going to show, who he crafting right now to come out in the next 3 years. She's going to be irrelevant. Hidalgo just went to the FIBA and was balling. We know how Juju was balling before she tore her ACL. Them chicks are quicker and stronger than this girl. The girl did all that work all the offseason and her stats went down. How is that possible? Juju, when she get back, probably second half of the season. And that just goes to show that these motherfuckers don't even care about the Fever as a team. Because they still should be supporting them. And they don't. But there you go. Let me see if that ESPN article is still up. Was it this one? No, it wasn't this one. Let me look. Maybe I could find it. Injuries more.
That Minnesota did acquire
No. Oh wow, they traded Dejanay. That's what's up. Man, that motherfucker is. That kind of sucks. Let's go to home. Okay, Collier's out 2 weeks. Let me see if I can find it. Where is it? I read it last week. These are just all videos. I don't even know how you search for articles on this. It's on there. I don't know.
Aside from that, Minnesota did acquire Dejanay Carrington from the Wings on Sunday. What will her addition mean for this?
The girl still has no left. Let me try this. No. Let's see. We'll do it last week. What the hell is this? ESPN finally backs Caitlin Clark. Oh, shit. Okay. I don't know. Oh, was this might have been when they caught her on video kicking that soccer ball. Yeah, this was that. Oh, man. That's actually funny. Anyway, y'all. Hopefully you learned something. If you did, I done my job. If not, I try to be better next time. Just understand. MAGA want to sit up here and talk about some. Caitlin Clark needs to have the U.S. government behind her. And you got this going on from your president today. That should be more important. Trump told everybody, if you don't back Israeli companies and you have a natural disaster hit, probably even a terrorist attack, we not giving you no money. The man sold out. Mm, 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 mm. Anyway, y'all enjoy the rest of your evening. Y'all take care, stay safe, and you know what to do when the agents of chaos come to mess up your existence.